let's get into the SIS and the Aaron and tie some things together of what's kind of coming, okay? Because we're living in the first 5 books of the Bible, and we're going to continue to live throughout the Bible until prophecy is fulfilled, all right? And we are living in these times. Let me say one thing. The first 5 books in Revelation, they're overlapping, okay? And all the other books, they're being played out within that time span, all right? But in the beginning, the dawn of time rose, okay? We had a time when the sun was bright and white, okay? Then we went into a short time when the sun was bright and dark, okay? And that was the first abomination of desolation in Mark 13 in 2013, all right? And then you had a new sun, a new dawn peak out of the darkness upon the deep. And this was Donald Trump, and this was the Genesis. This was when the us and our came to create man in their own image, and he came from the pit. He had the keys, and he opened the hospit hell, and that's when you're going to have to go in and get your treatments and worship the beast and blah blah blah. And it's going to take out portions of man, okay? But as they do this, it's going to also rebuild man for the next age coming, okay? So they're preparing man for the next age, and some of the people aren't necessarily able to adapt to the new frequency, okay? So I think the elect are, in the remnant, they're getting caught up to that frequency naturally, so they can exist in this new heaven and earth coming. And the people who cannot take the frequency are being taken out, okay? And they're being taken out with different measures, all right? So then you see the new time starting, and then it went back, okay? It's like a woman who's in labor, okay? That labor comes, and then it goes. Has those contraction points and all these things, okay? Now, I know a lot of you have worshipped the beast system, and a lot of you haven't even experienced real labor. And therefore, you've kind of already been blinded because you don't know what birthing pains are. And the earth is going through birthing pains. And it's going to be giving birth, dude. It's going to start pushing and pushing and pushing all the people. And if you're not spiritually sound, you're going to crack. All right? And this is that crack on that egg that is told to us. And some of those occultic religions where man is these things are giving birth to earth, is because these frequencies are changing, and man's cracking as it's doing, and it's because he's too involved in this world to keep up with the Joneses. It's caught in the trap, just like Elvis says. All these songs y'all sing about, top 40 hits from day one, they're all love songs about these coming days to make you love the system, to control you. So, Kamala, the law, all these things are part of the law coming. And as the law breaks forth, the Red Sea is going to be divided. All right. The Red Sea, from what I'm seeing right now, it appears as though that Ron DeSantis, Satan, he is the military background. He is the young 45 coming up, and the 46 and the 47 and all those in the crucial years. And he is coming to put forth a new America. He is the central figure of the so-called little horn that's breaking apart. Okay, and this little horn is Trump land, and this trumpet land, the trumpet land, is where the last trump will come from, and all these other things. Okay, but in the meantime, you're having Moses come in to divide the Red Sea so she can save the Israelites, right? Who are the Israelites? They're the children of God. Now, there's two children going on now, because there's Beast Man and there's the remnant, the believer, the person that can see the parables and knows the day and hour, okay? So, these people, the Christians, the real Christians, so-called, are going to go with Moses, okay? The Moses, the first black woman president, all right? Let me back up. I'm not saying she's going to be president. I'm saying she's going to start the third party, okay? And I see this being Oprah Winfrey, because Oprah Winfrey can divide the household, and it's going to be so good, because it's going to be mom versus dad. Dad, Trump. They'll never leave Trump. They all hate Oprah. And every woman, baby boomer, and all these have been brainwashed by the Oprah. And she will divide the red party. Oprah is the best person at this point. They may change this to like Michelle Obama or whatever, but nobody has that pull like Oprah. Or it could be Michelle and Oprah. Okay? So then you're going to get your dark moon and dark sun. And you're going to get your father, the fat her. Because the Lucifer spirit is the woman. And the male spirit is Jesus. That's why he's made under, but he's over. The man is stronger than the woman, but the woman exerts her force upon the man, and the man subdues if the man is in the right place, okay? It's all a mirror of what we live in, okay? Lucifer is the bride of Christ. He's gone astray because he's become too much to handle. He's thought he'd become God and rule the household. And it's the exact same picture of today. You have the serpent, she's grieving. Repent means to grieve, not to turn. But she's grieving the man's rule. She goes to Eve and say, look, you do this and that, then he's not going to rule over you. And she goes to Adam, says, hey, I did this. Now you got to. He says, dude, I can't believe you did that. And so she's exerting her force over him. It's the exact same picture that we have in the household today. Like sometimes the woman's hormones get a little estrogenic or testosterone filled, or what, I don't know which one causes it. Probably the testosterone, because she's testing the T on there, and that T is the man, because Jesus was created in the man's image, and all these things, folks. it's getting off on a little tangent, but the point is that Lucifer is the female spirit. That's the fat hair of the father, and she is symbolic of the king and queen that's coming together to rule, which would be the Meghan and Harry in the final long stage, long game, okay? But they're coming to divide this nation. So what would happen is that Oprah divides the red party. What happens then? Kamala wins again. Huh, how about that? So Kamala wins again, and then that's when the so-called Jewish temple, the White House, would be destroyed, the Beastman's temple, and then they would rebuild one in Texas or Florida. It's going to be set up in Texas, but it seems that Ron's going to rule it first, and then that Ron will turn to the Don, the last Trump, and then that will turn into the Kingdom Empire of Meghan and Harry or whatever. There has to be 3 kings, and I don't think the queens count in this little thing that's going on here. So there's Trump. He starts the new time. He's the forefather, the first one. And then there's going to be Biden. He's the false prophet. He's not a king. And then you have the 3 kings after that. Okay. And then I don't know if the last Trump is one of the kings or the last Trump on top of the 4th king. So either way, the SIS, if you want freedom and liberty, and you may be stuck out in the little the wilderness, the wild her nest for a little bit, but that would be like where the new heaven is kind of be established, and then the rest would be kind of the earth where it's controlled by hell on earth kind of thing, because you're gonna have like a new segment of society set up and ran by the new elect per se, is that's how it's kind of seeming, but I'm not, it's kind of too early to tell. Things are being revealed as we go along as far as the components and the structure, but from what I see is there's going to be some type of probably alien appearance, and then Jesus would appear in 2033 and 2033. That would just be the mothership, okay? And then when the mothership appears, whoever it is, or whoever looks up at it, or whatever, because they'll tell you not to go outside or whatever, that blah, 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 and it might take us then and gather us up, and then we would go into a new world or whatever. Who knows on all that stuff, okay? I'm talking about like as a physical realm, like if everything keeps going to try and make it as most believable as possible, as like as far as everybody staying here, you know what I mean? Like everybody disappearing, or the elected remnant disappearing and the aliens taking them out or whatever, and then coming back. That's a great concept, okay? But if that doesn't happen, the next step is to maybe like figure out how this would happen in 2033, 2034, right? So when you look up at the mothership or whatever, depending what talents you've used or what talents you haven't used, you look up at the ship and it finishes programming you or whatever, and then that's when Jesus would indwell inside of us in 100%, and then that's when you would get your actually like full-on God-man in a sense, and you'd have people leaving the system and starting a new thing, and then you'd have the sons of God taking the daughters of men again, and then creating a whole new society after that or whatever, because we would be able to heal the womb and whatever's gone on with a RNA or DNA changes and different things like that. Anyways, who knows? We're just kind of thinking out loud on these kind of concepts, but these kind of things are lining up to show us the current reality, all right? Because there's not going to be any rapture where all the church is taken out. All the church is conquered. All right, we'll end it there.